North Carolina vinegar-based barbecue. It's different, or Texas, where they don't even use pork; they're using steak. They use beef. You know, or if you go Southwest, it's a dry rub, no sticky sweet sauces. So
that's true.
Man, you got me hungry.
I know,
got
right?
me hungry for sure.
yeah, I haven't eaten breakfast in months, so
Right,
I know what you feel.
Right. Well, Josh, feel free to come on over, man.
We tilt these over.
Josh. And yeah, we need a couple
like
more.
this?
No, we can do that. Or
Yeah,
we
we
can put a couple more up there.
There we are.
Whichever way, whatever works, man. Whatever works for you.
His name was Josh. I mean, not him. The other guy.
Graham.
Sorry.
Graham. Absolutely. Absolutely. He has a little tagline that I won't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shall I pour you guys some right now? Or?
Yeah, please do.
How many? Just someone.
Hey, welcome everybody. We are here live at Chats, of course. Tasting. It's tasting time on a Thursday. I know this is irregular for most of you out there who follow our regular Friday evening spirit tasting and our Saturday wine tasting. But it's a Thursday, a special day, because we have just here in DC. I'm not sure if we can take the credit for launching. I think it's been in a couple other places. But for Chats, this is the launch of Fior Scotch Whisky. And I have the pleasure to be joined with the owner and founder, a United States Marine veteran. Thank you so much for your service.
Much appreciated. Good to be here.
This is Eric.
Yes, Eric Dominijanni.
Dominijanni.
There we go. No, that's all right. You want to do this. Take your hands and go like Dominijanni, you know?
Dominijanni.
There we go. You see? It's really easy.
Works perfect. Works perfect. Eric Dominijanni is the founder of this amazing blended Scotch whiskey. And we're here at Chats right now doing a tasting. So if you are hearing me over the airways, we're going to be going till 8. We have a couple hours. Eric will be here tasting out and educating about his Scotch whiskey. Of course, we are being joined by part of the crew. We got the other Eric over there, got Josh here. We're just going to sit back and sip this whiskey and just kind of hang out with us a little bit and make your way over to Chats. So, Eric, first and foremost, congratulations on your brand.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, actually, before we actually take our first sip,
okay,
we have actually a toast. It's my Dominijanni house toast, but it has become synonymous with my Scotch. You look at the person in the eyes and you say, "May you get what you deserve." And the meaning behind that is if a person goes, "What's that supposed to mean?" You know, you're not dealing with a good person. But it's like, you deserve. It's like, you know you deserve. Yeah, I hope you all. Congratulations.
That's nice.
You get what you deserve. Absolutely.
That's kind of like,
I love it.
And that's how you know when you're dealing with a good person. There we are.
That's like this one time somebody told me, "Are you following me?" And then somebody was like, "Only to good places."
There we go. There we go.
There you go. Absolutely. Well, it has been a fun time already in the first hour of the tasting because this guy is a riot for sure.
I'll try.
Thank you. And such an interesting life you have led. And it brings you to your own blended Scotch whiskey brand. So amazing. So if you wouldn't mind, just tell us a little bit about yourself, about your history, what led up to you creating this whiskey, and also start from wherever you want to, man.
Eric Dominijanni. I'm a Scorpio. I like long walks on beaches, and I don't like pineapples on pizza. No, I'm joking. I'm from New York City originally. I joined the Marine Corps out of 1997. I was commissioned as a second lieutenant of the United States Marine Corps. I became an assault amphibian officer, and for those of you who don't know what that is, I'll speak Army or plain speak. Imagine, no, because we speak different languages. I was a amphibious, mechanized, motorized, and dismounted infantry officer. So I did armored personnel carriers primarily that came off of those big Navy ships, and we stormed the beaches like if you saw in Private Ryan, and then those vehicles can continue on land and blow up things and make loud noises and spit forth diesel fuel and stuff like that. I did that, but I also did a lot of dismounted infantry. Been to Iraq and Afghanistan, say 3 times. Short time in Afghanistan. Did my 20 years, and Then I got out, and I'll never forget, my chief of staff was asking me, what I was planning on doing when I got out of the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And I told him I wanted to do something exciting, so that was going to challenge me. He goes, "What?" It's like, "I want to be a chef. I'm half Italian, and it's in my blood, or half of my bloodstream."
Indeed.
So I went to culinary school. I actually wound up many years before going to culinary school. I beat Bobby Flay. I was on, I was on Throw Down with Bobby Flay, season 1,
Wow.
episode 5. Got offered my own show. Been in a few magazines and cookbooks.
Hey.
Yeah, you learn something new about me every day. Yeah,
brother.
yeah, exactly.
Listen,
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? Transformers more than meets the eye, right?
that's it.
Then after culinary school, there was this thing called COVID, which completely destroyed all my plans for continuing with more education in the culinary field. So from there, I went sitting around the house and kind of bored. And I make my own ice cream. You have to understand that I make my own ice cream.
Wow.
I make my own ice cream. I make my own mead. I make my own wine sometimes. I mean, everything in my house is pretty much made from scratch. And then from there, I just got the Scotch bug, and I'll explain that in a second. And then I just wound up, creating a legacy bottle or an infinity bottle, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's where you take mixes of, usually it's like your favorite scotches or whiskeys. You could do it with rum. It's usually a brown liquor. And then you find like that flavor profile that you like. And then you once it's ready, you drink it.
Yes.
I, on the other hand, when I was first working with this, I took some of the scotches or whiskeys that I really wasn't, that it was missing something.
Okay.
Like, I would start off with maybe something, we just pretend a Lowland, which, just didn't have like that flavor profile that I was looking for. If it only had a little bit more smoke, it'd be great.
Right, yeah.
And then eventually, maybe a month later, you're like, and you pour it in your little bottle and you close it. And then a month later, you're like, wow, this is really, really smoky. It's too smoky for me.
Okay.
But man, it would be really good in there. So you measure 2-3 fingers, and blah, blah, blah. And then the next time, it's like, but if it was only sweeter, this is too sweet for me. And that's generally how you create.
Craft your own.
Exactly. And after 2 failures, I came up with one that I really, really liked.
Okay.
And I had a few of my buddies from the Marine Corps, one Navy, I think he was over, Submariner.
Okay.
I had him over, and we were having a barbecue. And I said, all right, guys, let's crack this bad boy open.
Indeed.
We opened it, and they loved it. And they were like, the next week we did it again, or 2 weeks later we did it again. And they were like, hey, bro, you need to do this again. Let's get some more. I'm like, wait, but the jar's getting smaller and smaller. I mean, like the contents are getting some. Like, okay, I gotta stop this. And I was like, how do I duplicate this? Like, I know how to make wine. 2 of my big inspirations for this, and please stop me. I'll talk. It's a long story.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, my uncle Luciano gets his own wine made.
Okay.
He calls up California. He says, I want a 43% of this, a 22% of this.
Yeah.
And my old boss, Colonel Bolaño,
Okay.
he gets his own cigars made. And he says, like, I want this filler with this wrap, with this gauge, with this size, this shape.
Right.
So I figure I could do that with Scotch.
Yes.
But
Okay.
I don't know how do I do that? No one knows. Unless your closest friend from college happened to be in the liquor business for 4 generations and used to own Hypnotic. So,
okay.
So I call him up.
They may have some contacts.
Yeah, so I called him up.
Great source.
And I was like, Jim, you still in the liquor business, the whiskey? The liquor business. And he's like, do you still cook? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, well, if I wanted to create my own Scotch, I have this Scotch. I want to get it duplicated. Who would you have to talk to? He's like, you'd have to talk to a really good looking guy. I was like, yeah, okay, got it.
Right.
It was him.
Yeah.
So I gave it to him. He brought it to Scotland, came back with 3 samples.
Okay.
And like in typical military fashion, the first one was good. The second one was really good.
Okay.
The third one was okay. And I said, I like the second one. And he was like, well, that's funny because that's the closest one we can get to making your Scotch. I said,
okay.
And here's where it gets crazy. I ordered 6 cases. I only wanted them for myself. It was only for me and my friends.
Oh.
It was never supposed to leave the house.
Really?
It was just supposed to be for a house, the Dominijanni Scotch blend.
Yeah. Okay.
And then after that, they liked it so much. So 2 of my buddies, both Marines, called me up for 48 hours and said, hey, bro, you need to get this out there. You need to get this out there. And after 2 days, I called him back up and I asked him, hey, how would I, get into the, you think I could sell this? Right. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. But you need to know the right guy. Oh, I wonder who that is.
Yeah.
So we wound up talking, and here I am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think, awards
Absolutely.
later.
I don't know if everyone that's watching live or the replay can see how many awards are on this banner that you have hanging here. Gosh, already. Now, when did this product hit the market?
So we did
What year?
two. Well, we're in 2025, so I think it was 21. We started pushing out samples.
Okay.
Just as that's when this probably happened. By 22, we did our first 2 runs, if you will, of it. We did, I think it was 165 bottles. Those sold out overnight. I can't remember the second push of how many bottles we did on that one. Those sold out overnight just because of the military owned or the black owned or the Marine Corps owned, the veteran owned. People buy it basically. I mean, they buy their first bottle based on loyalty to the Marine Corps. Hey, I support black owned brands, etc.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
But your second bottle is going to be because it tastes damn good.
Indeed.
And it's a great value, as you know.
That's a great segue into saying tonight, folks, if you don't already know, you just mentioned you buy the first bottle and the second bottle. Well, when you do that here tonight at Chats, you get a whole third bottle, no charge.
And you get to meet me.
So come on down and and not only taste, meet Eric, and enjoy this whiskey with us. So let's just go ahead and maybe have a little bit more in the glasses because I'm already
absolutely
far with that first, maybe second sip.
Yeah.
Let's get into the whiskey.
So
this is, you had a great question, Eric.
What's the name come from?
Okay, the name is a funny story, and I have a couple of stories associated with this. So the name is Fior. Now, you have to understand that when I created this, it was just going to be the Dominijanni House Scotch.
Okay.
I knew nothing about Scotch. Now I'm a CSP. Now I'm a CSF and certified Scotch professional, certified specialist spirits, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So I knew nothing about anything about Scotch. So it was my last name, Dominijanni. Sounds beautiful on a bottle of wine. Sounds beautiful over a pizzeria. But on a Scotch, Now, nothing against some of the other whiskeys and Scotches and bourbons out there, but I didn't want to be associated with, one of the like those peanut butter whiskeys or lavender-based vodkas. I wanted, I wanted something that was pure and clean.
Indeed.
Just like something that was true to being a Scotch.
Okay.
And so my buddy Jim, my business partner Jim, we were talking about names. Hey, you really got to come down with a name for this. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, I just don't know. It just can't be anything Italian. We got to go. And he has his clipboard, and he's like, I'm like, what do you got? He's like, I got 5 choices. Okay. And he goes, all right, what's the first one? He goes, Fior. And I'm like, what did I tell you? You can't put an Italian name on a Scotch. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, Fior means flower in Italian. And he goes, but it means pure, clean, and true in Scottish Gaelic.
Oh, wow.
What a cool. I was like, that's it. He's like, number 2, like, shut up, don't ruin it.
Right. Absolutely. Let's marinate.
To this day, I don't know what number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 are.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I've never asked him.
Option 1.
I should ask him now, honestly. I've never.
Yeah. Well, maybe for your next project.
Yes. Actually, we are doing another project.
Okay.
We're having a second SKU. We have barrels from the Dominican Republic. We ship them over to Scotland. And we're coming up with another SKU. It's going to be the equivalent of like a Caribbean cask type thing. So it's there right now. Maybe in the next year. Wow. It's aging. We have a master blender in Scotland who makes our blend for us.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to say anytime soon, but there will be one more SKU.
Time to rest in the Caribbean cask.
Yes.
So just getting into the whiskey itself, primarily this whiskey is composed of Scotch from 2 different regions.
Yes, it's a Highland and Speyside. So number 1, it is not a malt. It is not a single malt. It is not a malt. It is not a single grain. It is a blend between. So when we use the term, it's a blended whiskey.
Yes.
Or blended Scotch. Blended Scotch whiskey. So it's a blend of Highland and Speyside malted, because that's where it gets that sweetness from. It will always be malted barley. If you ever have a Scotch, you can make Scotch out of barley, malted barley, oatmeal, corn. There's just about any. I think there's 5 acceptable grains that you can use in Scotland to make a Scotch. So ours is a blend between malted barley and some others. It's our proprietary blend, and that's where you get like nice bit of sweetness. Sometimes when you dip into some of the other Scotches, some of the other grains, you're able to pull additional flavors out. Yeah, a lot of people are very. I'm not going to say purist. They're snobbish. If you're with me, hey, I only drink single malts. I only drink single malts. Well, if you study the history of Scotches and whiskeys, well, specifically Scotches, no one drank single malts back in the day. They were concentrated, and you cut it with water or you blended it by yourself. Right. It wasn't until I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done my studying, but I think it was like 1960, somewhat when the first like blended scotches first started coming out.
Okay, yeah. Hey there, Douglas and Finley.
Sir, would you like to try a sample of the first and only veteran-owned scotch?
Sure.
There we go.
Indeed. Here we go.
Eric, these are glasses right here. There we go.
Brought out a few more just in case we got a little busy
perfect.
while we were here having a chat.
There we go.
So, Eric, when you went to the bar, what was your drink of choice? Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I worked in the Caribbean. I didn't drink, believe it or not, until I got married, and then I stopped drinking when I got divorced. But yeah, pretty much. There was quite a lot of truth to that. But don't get me wrong. I used to drink it like I'd have a beer with a cheeseburger. I always drank to pair with food. I'd have wine, whatever. But once I got into hard alcohols, you have to understand, in the Marine Corps, I was working as a Caribbean desk officer, and I was working in the Dominican Republic. I worked in Haiti, so rum became my first alcohol that I was really, really enthralled with. I could like, okay, this is Barbancourt, this is Zacapa, I had it all.
Yeah.
And then the Marine Corps found that I was in love with Miami too much, and I was having fun. So in the Marine Corps wisdom, and to make me so much more rounded as a Marine, they sent me to the middle of the desert in 29 Palms, California, and which is a desert. So there's nothing there. It's a desert.
Yep.
So I would drive out to visit my brother, my friends, and I had a lot of friends from high school, from college, from the Marine Corps, all lived out in California.
Yeah.
And we went to a bar, and you have to understand, I'm miserable. It's 120 degrees over there. Okay. The only food to eat was McDonald's, Burger King. So now I'm in California. I'm the designated driver.
From Miami to California.
Yeah, exactly. So, and not just California, the desert of California.
And no In-N-Outs out there.
No. You have McDonald's, Burger King, and like two amazing Mexican spots, and that's it.
Mm.
So now I'm in LA visiting my friends, and we're going out. We're all going to be bar hopping. Uh-huh. And I get to a place, and this guy's like, "Hey, you in the service?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." He's like, "You guys?" I'm like, "No, just him, just me." And he's like, "Oh, let me buy you a drink. Thank you for your service." Mm. And he gave me this drink, and I was like, "Ugh, Jesus!" And I'll be honest, I thought he was hitting on me, But when I realized what he gave me, it must have been like Malort. It was like battery acid. I don't know how people. I just could not drink that. Right. So now I'm in a bad mood, and I'm like, and he's like giggling. You could just see like, he did it on purpose, Okay. So I am furious. I'm like, I can't get anything to eat around. I can't even drink. This is my only weekend off, and blah blah blah. So my friends are like, dude, we're driving. We got this, So we mix friends here. We move over here, and I finally get to this bar, and this is California, different demographics. So I go, they're like, hey, what do you want? I'm like, what do you got for rum? Yeah, we have basic rum this and basic rum that. And I'm like, don't you have anything else? He's like, dude, it's a Scotch bar. I'm like, what? He's like, it's a Scotch bar. Look up. And over the bar, the guy was half Scottish, half Irish, I believe. And over the bar was just all these Scotches. And I was like, and I pulled out my card and I said, teach me. He's like, what? I go, I'm a chef. I'm striving to be a chef. Yeah. I love food. I love out, but I really know nothing about Scotches. Can you please teach me?
Right.
And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, just teach me. Just don't rip me up. I just want to try. She's like, you really want to learn? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, well, this is Lefroy, and this is the Chenac, and all these, I couldn't pronounce any of this stuff. And the frog, as I so call it.
Lefroy.
Yeah, no, the frog. The frog.
The
and he's
frog.
pulling out all these scotches and whiskey, and he's like, you need to drink this with a little bit of water and blah, blah, blah. And that gave me my bug. And my rum collection dwindled, and it slowly became a Scotch collection.
I see.
And here I am now.
Okay, there you go.
And by the way, we were saying, like, if they normally go for about $40 a bottle, he's got a special deal today that if you pick up 2 bottles, you get a third one for free. And guess what? Even more important than that, my last name, I have my name signed to the back of everybody. So you get my Herbie Hancock. There we go. Not my John Hancock, but my Herbie Hancock on every bottle. There you go.
Hey, folks.
See? Hey, you can say you met me,
I met the owner.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, come on. Like if that wasn't enough,
A lot of fun. Build stories. I mean, I'm sure just hanging out with this guy, in the military, especially, man, oh man, I'm sure you all had some great times.
I had a great time. I still, my Marines.
And that said, we are located right here on Barracks Row, historic Barracks Row,
right next to 8th and I.
8th and I is literally not even a block away from us.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for your service, but it's a stop in your journey here in Washington D.C. I think you're here for the weekend, right?
Yep.
So you have various places that you're gonna be at. Would
Right.
you like to shout any of those out?
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be at Black on Wines and Spirits.
Right. That's
We're doing an event there. I'm over here at Shots, and And the other one, I always forget the full name of it. You got to give me a second because there's the address and then there's the.
There's a place tomorrow that you'll be, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will be at tomorrow, 1 West DuPont Circle Wine and Liquors.
Okay.
That's like my usual stopping ground, believe it or not.
Right? Absolutely.
Go for it if you want.
Literally.
Grab a bottle.
But check Eric out, folks.
And if you grab a bottle, I got something for you.
Once again, come on by. He's here till 8, so we have some time. So, gosh, any questions, Eric, Josh, that you might have?
So when you built out
Douglas?
your Scotch collection, what was your first 5 bottles of Scotch?
Well, I went. So the first one I had was the Frog, Lefroy.
And how did you feel about that one?
I liked it. No, if you remember, I went to some really intense scotches. That's why my first 2 failures when I came up with my Infinity bottle, my Legacy bottle, if you will, was because I was trying to mix Isla and Islands or one of those two. Because I was working around the house before I actually started the bottle. Like I really like those intense flavors, like coffee. Like we don't really like coffee. We just got used to it. If you really think about it, like coffee is bitter, it's this and that. But we drink it all the time because we got used to it. But the first time you had coffee, you didn't like. So I was trying to work with that. I also had, I started with the Islands and the Islas. I also had, I have to go through, I'll tell you the other ones. Oh, my God.
Maybe there was white label, maybe?
No, that's my
All
uncle's
single
favorite.
malts or blended?
I started off with the single malts because that's all I knew at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I had a couple like later on. I had, oh, wow, Dunwoody?
Dalwhinnie?
Dalwhinnie, and then there's Dunwoody, I believe. I think those are 2 separate ones.
Okay.
And then I had Dalwhinnie was definitely one. May not be my first 5, but I'm trying to think what else I had in my cabinet back then. And you have to understand, please excuse me, I haven't slept in over 24 hours.
You leaned a bit more towards the Isla?
I initially, because those were just intense.
Right.
But now
you're a cigar smoker. So
yeah,
you don't
exactly.
mind the PT, smoky.
But the problem is that when you're barbecuing all the time.
Thank you. It was very good.
I much appreciated. You heard it from the horse's mouth.
Burning a horse.
All right, there we go.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, and then I realized after a while that these things are just too smoky. They're too peaty for me to really appreciate with a cigar.
Right.
I wanted something that was going to accent it or go with it. I didn't need anything that was. I didn't need 4 cigars. I already have a smoked brisket. I have a cigar. Do I really need a super smoky, whiskey or Scotch or bourbon to go with it? No, I don't. Right. I really don't. Right. So I created something that would be lower on the smoke profile as opposed to other ones. So when I was drinking Scotches, I was doing Highlands. I was doing Speysides. The Lowlands I liked, but they were just the Lowlands were really good if you had a lot of smoke that day because they're very difficult to find. And they were like, I'm not going to say there's some people look down on Lowland Scotches. Look, it's just a mellow Scotch. There's nothing wrong with them. Right. But they usually are more expensive. When you do find they're higher on the spectrum when it comes to price, because for them to develop that flavor, they have to sit longer in the barrel. So these things are like 35 years old. Like I have like 1 or 2 younger Scotches in my old cabinet. In fact, I have actually depleted my Scotch collection not long ago because I was doing all my tastings. And I was like, when I was studying for my CSP,
absolutely,
I had to be able to that's a 43%, anywhere from 43 to 46, or if it's 46 to 49, you taste it like, oh, that's actually, and I had gone through my whatever. So I am still recovering from overstudying, if you will.
Okay.
But what would be besides your own? What would be your
honestly, I can't say because it depends what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
And again, right now, please forgive me. Like I said, I haven't slept in a bit. My uncle he passed away recently. He was always a Dewar's guy. My other buddy's an Oban. I like it. I really enjoy the Japanese whiskeys. There's some people they're not real whiskeys. They're not. No, they are. They're real whiskeys. Anyone who looks down on the Japanese whiskeys. I've had some of the Indian whiskeys. What is that? What Officer's Choice? Okay. What was the other one? That's what I ate. Amarut. But they're kind of sweet. They almost taste rum-like. They're so rich. Yeah, they almost taste caramelly. Yeah. More caramelly than any of the other scotches or whiskeys that are out there. I am not an expert on Canadian whiskeys. I do like them. I think they are underrepresented or undervalued in the whiskey department because they're Canadian and they don't have any laws or rules. They could do whatever they want. That's
Yeah.
That's why they're pretty impressive because they can do whatever they want.
It's funny how many Canadian whiskeys are sold here in the States under American brand names.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Whistle Pig, you know, getting their start with Canadian whiskey, right? Uncle Nearest Rye is a Canadian sourced.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Did not know that.
and others, right?
Right.
But yeah, outside of a couple big brands, you know, that you grew up with, as far as Canadian whiskey, especially those in a purple bag, right? Then it's like they kind of fell out of favor, right?
Right.
But
I know those purple bags became bags to hold your Dungeons and Dragons dice.
Everything.
Completely.
The first reusable bag. For sure. But yeah, this has been great, man. I really appreciate you coming on by and showing us these and allowing us to take some of your time while we're here in Washington to spend here chats with our customers, with us, chatting it up. But let's now just turn our attention on the flavors of the whiskey.
Right.
And you know, everyone that's out there in the in Instagram, YouTube universe, then we're kind of going to give you a baseline of what to expect when it comes to Fior Blended Scotch Whisky. So I like initially on the nose just a little bit of mossy characteristic, some nice sweet tones, right? A little bit of brown sugar, a little what an outdoor kind of foresty like note, very light smoke. It's there, but it's not offensive at all.
It was once described as being by like the scent, the aroma of marshmallows being cooked on the campfire, but you're not eating the burnt charcoal. You know, when the guy, but it's just the aroma. You're not eating the burnt marshmallow. It was a warmed marshmallow at the.
I got that like grilled. For some reason it's like grilled chicken but with a little bit of a char.
Grilled chicken,
like a little char on the
a little bit of the fattiness, heavier of the chicken. You know that as it's charring,
a little bit of
little
smoke,
bit of
like
smoke.
you said, but it also has that. I don't know. It's that sweetness.
Yeah.
Maybe it's how I cook my chicken.
Sweetness on there.
Yeah, there's definitely
like a honey
and-
sweetness.
it's the caramelly. You know,
It doesn't haven't been translated that same sweetness.
one of the things you're not supposed to say when you're talking about scotches or whiskeys, because people will misinterpret it. They'll say it's appley because they think it's an apple whiskey or an apple scotch. One thing that I've always said, listen, I don't care. To me, it's got the caramel notes. It's that, to me, that sweetness. I taste apples. And again,
like orchard fruit.
There's no apples in this.
Right.
But I like to say it has an appley, like a caramel. True. Notice I said caramel and not caramel. It's a caramel because there's an A in caramel. 2 A's, caramel.
That was my nickname in college.
There you go. Yeah. I was Bruce Leroy. I was Bruce Leroy, and I was Oreo.
Man, I call you caramel.
Honestly,
that's awesome.
What's upsetting me right now?
It's gonna be ingrained in my head.
The only thing missing right now is a cigar.
That is awesome.
Right now, to have a cigar, and if it was 20 degrees colder, to have a steak being, God, imagine doing this outside with the scotch, and then the smell of a dead animal being charred on a grill. That's just beautiful right there.
That's it. Well,
sir,
you said it earlier, but I'll be honest with you.
Would you like to try a sample, sir?
No,
he doesn't drink.
Okay. Okay, bring him over. You would like?
Indeed.
Real quick.
No, I was just going to say, I came exactly why you said it. Because for your service and because you're black.
Come on.
There we go.
I will tell you, I am taking 3 bottles home.
Thank you for your
service. And thank you.
Because it tastes great.
Thank you very much.
Great. Absolutely. Well, welcome. Indeed.
You do need to be
let's get it.
How are you?
Ladies.
Where'd you pick the bottle from? How'd you get the
Okay.
Back her opinion.
Yep. The bottle, believe it or not, the design of the bottle was a group effort.
Okay.
We were looking at things like, for example, the shape of the bottle, and I did research online trying to find Salud. Well, we were looking online for the shape of the bottles, and I was like, trying to find something that would be like traditional. And I really, really want to go for tradition, but there were no. I mean, they were like, well, there is no like set bottle for a Scotch. It doesn't have to be round. It doesn't have to be. So I said, okay, well, let me get. I fell in love with mastery and simplicity, and then we had to pay homage, to its roots. It's from Scotland, and then we took the flag, et cetera, et cetera. The name, I already spoke to you about how we got the name. Jim was the one who put the lion rampart. He's like, no, we're going to make it even more traditional. Not just traditional, we're going to make it more traditional.
Indeed.
And then I put the gold lines on the outside. I also said, hey, let's clip off, so it looks actually like a banner, not a rectangle with that on. And then I wound up after the first batch, because I didn't know what it was going to taste like after we mass produced it. And I didn't want to put my name on something that I wasn't going to like fully support. And once I was stupid, realized, hey, if you're mass producing it, it's 3 parts this, 2 parts this one. No matter if you do it 300 parts this, 200 parts this, it's going to taste the same.
Right.
So after the first 2 batches, that's when I decided I swore by it, and I put my last name on the back of the bottle.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to realize that it's in black and you can't see it. So the next batch, it'll be in white or gold.
Right.
My signature.
Oh yeah, put it in gold to match the
Yes.
color. That's important that your last name is
Yes.
represented there.
So
And yeah, that's beautiful in gold. That would be
yeah, I think that would
fantastic.
have been money on that one. So it is the first and only veteran-owned Scotch, and it is also the first and only black-owned Scotch.
There you go.
So and of course my dad is like, hey, I bet you it's the first and only Italian-owned Scotch. Like, I always got to take credit for something. I didn't know the Italians invented a Scotch, but way before the Scotch.
Way before the
What do they know? And actually, believe it or not, there is a town in Italy called Barga, probably after Hannibal Barca, probably there, whatever. But it's called Barga, and apparently they were sending workers from Italy to Scotland, so they have a landline to this day, like a cell phone, a phone, so these people could call their to their family. So there's this huge Italian, they're like genetically Scottish, but they live in Italy, and vice versa.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
The more you know. I tell you, the more you know. So what do you think?
I think it's delicious.
You think it's delicious? All right.
There we go. This is a whiskey. Remember, Scotches are whiskeys from Scotland. There we go. There we go. It means a lot.
That is wonderful. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
And would you like?
Evening?
We have Fior Scotch. It's the first and only black-owned Scotch, the first and only veteran-owned Scotch.
Really?
It's got 6 awards. I got a
bourbon drinker.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I do enjoy Scotch occasionally.
Yeah. How do you know if there's a bourbon drinker at your party? They'll tell you over and over. Over. Yeah, I just say, it's a bourbon drinkers are the new vegan. Did I tell you I'm a vegan? Hi, my name's Eric. It's like, I'm a bourbon drinker.
I like whiskey and bourbon, but Scotch is you need to sit with it
Now,
and take your time.
now,
For me,
here's your tutorial on Scotch today. If you pass me that little pamphlet over there.
Oh, this one?
So, saying you like or dislike Scotch.
I didn't say I did.
No, I'm just saying in general. In general, I was a major in the Marine Corps, so in major, not in general, but in major, saying you like or dislike Scotch is like saying you like or dislike American style barbecue, or just barbecue in general. What do you?
You have to love it.
No. It's just
There's
regional,
so many variants.
because you cannot compare a South Carolina mustard barbecue, which is made with pork, to a Texas dry rub.
And I've had and that's why I say Scotch is not my number one,
Right.
but I have had Scotches that I really enjoy.
And when
But it's for me, I tend to have more whiskey at
Right.
home than I have.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing with Scotch, there's 6 regions. So when you say you like or dislike,
Exactly.
well, which regions did you like? Which regions did you dislike?
I've had more Scottish.
Yeah. No, I mean, these are sub-regions. Scotch is like, so you'll see, for example, you have your Highland.
Well, I've had
your Speyside,
the Highland.
Yeah, and Speyside is the most
I used to
popular.
live in England for a
Oh,
while,
no kidding.
so I used to drink the Highlands.
But one of my favorite nightclubs was in England. Tiger.
One of my favorite nightclubs was in England.
My-
I can't remember the name right now, but
Funky Buddha, Tiger. In fact, here's one for you. My translator in Iraq.
Okay.
He has it's a third funny story. He has a flat in England. He has a flat in Russia, and he had a flat in Germany. He was a lawyer.
Wow.
And he goes, you know where I'm the wealthiest though? I'm like, what? He's like, now you have to understand, he's the biggest minority in the world. He's a Jewish Kurd.
Oh wow.
So I go, you're the wealthiest in like northern Iraq? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, well, my father. Well, what does your father do? He has goats. or sheep. And I'm like,
Oh,
what? He's like,
yes.
he has more sheep and more goats. Because I don't have water to wipe my rear. I don't have electricity. We still use candlelight and stuff. But that I'm considered basically a prince. Well, he owns the kebab shop next to the nightclub I used to go to
Premium meat
in
That's
England.
a big deal.
Yeah.
Like halal meat, like
Yeah.
yes.
There you go.
So I'm very
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, let's see what we have here.
Absolutely. We want your opinion. We want your opinion.
That's very nice. Mm. This is
So-
different from what I've had before. This has a little bit more flavor. Like it has
And it's
that hits you first rather than
Right.
the opposite.
yes.
Mm.
So
Which I
I
think makes a big difference with Scotch.
Yes.
Like if it hits you first, I think it puts a lot of people off.
right, and that's usually what happens when it's a higher alcohol content.
Exactly.
So this is 43%. The minimum ABV is 40.
I feel like all you
Right.
need is that. It really, like
Yeah.
for a lot of people, I
Right.
think that's what puts them off.
No,
Scotch. It's a
absolutely.
very hard hit.
Yes.
You need to sip it.
And that's what
slowly, and you need to
that's
take
where
your
bourbon
time.
to me really wins out. And here's the reason. It's funny.
Exactly.
The bourbons generally are so much stronger than the whiskey. They don't have to be by law. But you know, the bourbons that my friends drink and we drink are like 50%, 51,
Yes.
52, because they're so much stronger, significantly stronger. No one ever tries to slam them down. So they have to learn how to appreciate it. When something is like 40, 43, you have a tendency to drink it faster.
Yeah.
And that 3%, you're like, you know, it's like it's
Mhm.
only 3%. It's really not that much more. But because you slammed it down,
But anything for it's a high alcohol
Yeah.
content considering what most people generally.
yeah, I mean, the minimum, like vodkas are 40%, generally tequilas, mezcals are 40%.
Cognacs.
Rum, yeah, most of that. Once you get down to
But
the
you're
whiskeys,
talking about all the things that people are like
yes,
a different level with alcohol.
right,
Drink, which I am
Mhm.
at
right,
and have been for way longer.
As far as sipping it neat,
yeah.
as
Right.
opposed to
Like I will drink
Right.
like
My
me,
friends
diluting
used to tease me. They're like, "You're 80 years old.
yeah.
You drink like an 80-year-old."
Yeah. Well, I have a good buddy of mine. We work together in the military. He's
I mean, it's just a certain
big.
talent that you acquire if
Yes.
you
Mhm.
take yourself to a
Mhm.
different
Yes, absolutely.
experience.
yeah, a good buddy of mine. He
This
was
one right here
Department of
made me
State.
I believe that. And it changes
Mhm.
you, right?
I typically buy 125
Mhm. Mhm.
because of
Hot proof. It's
Mhm.
all about the hot test.
exactly. You get
And then you
the flavor, but
stay.
it's-
Indeed.
It's
And
such
speaking
a
of
high
unique
test,
experience.
Better go
But
ahead
I
and
feel
that's
like
what I like
this
about to get a
is
little
like
hot test.
real for a Scotch.
Bring out
Right.
some of these bourbons.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
It means a lot.
So
Yeah.
You know, some people
Indeed.
just like
Hey, everybody.
some individuals
I
don't
think
like
Thank you
Scotch.
so
Some
very
people
much.
love it.
Drink this. Actually.
coming on down.
Well, we have a higher multigrain ratio
will be
than
here
Johnny Walker Blue.
Till
But Johnny
8.
Walker Blue is like,
Come
a
check us out.
significant price, difference. Then you're not
Hey,
going to find
Sean, and
anything
Mo, what's
smoother,
going
I
on,
think,
bro?
for this price.
I
point.
guess
For
likely you're in
$40.
the city.
Now you'll find smoother scotches and
With,
whiskeys out there,
Sure.
but not for this price.
Yeah.
So
No, this is for me. I just think it has like.
Oh, that's a great question. It's 27. Ooh, I'm sorry I didn't see that sooner.
Because I also feel like people
Yeah.
aren't necessarily connoisseurs.
So let's
They
hold
need
on.
something
Let's
to
not hop
slow
off
them
yet.
down a
Yes.
little bit and make them experience
Yeah.
it rather than just.
well, no one drinks scotch or whiskeys or bourbons to get drunk. If you do, you got a problem.
Mhm.
So look at this way: when you're talking about scotches in the alcohol, scotch is like for women, it would be like a bath versus shower. For men, it's a cigarette versus cigar.
Mhm.
If you're in a rush, you take your cigarette, you smoke it, you dip out. But when you're with your friends, you're
Yeah.
relaxing. You have your cigar. It takes you about an hour. You're with your friends and your family. Whatever. For a woman, for example, it's a stereotype, but you have a choice. Take a quick shower before work. But on the weekend, no one's around. You jump into the hot tub. You got your little Yorkie poo. You're watching what's that movie? The Notebook.
Any animals,
Yeah.
but I understand.
Yeah, you watch the Notebook. You have the Chardonnay and all that other stuff. But that is the difference.
Yes.
It's also like when do you drink scotch? When someone's born or someone dies in your family. When you got fired or you got hired. It's always it's always an extreme. It's with friends that people go, what's the best way to serve your scotch? I go, with friends and family. Good people. That's it.
Mhm.
Well, some family members are jerks.
So I
So
go to Jack Rose, so I usually always have a scotch
Right.
when I'm there.
Okay.
I'll do a flight of different things, and then I always get one scotch.
right,
Shout out to Jack
That's
Rose.
always the end of my evening
right.
because that's
Yeah.
after that
It's over with.
There's
Yeah.
really nothing else that you can.
What can you? Your taste buds are like at the top. Like that's the way to go in the night.
That's
I
it.
feel with you.
You can't, like, if you do something after it, it just doesn't make sense.
And
It's always
you're like,
my
why
last
are
Yeah.
we doing it?
And that's how it is with me. It's like for me, I live in Miami right now.
Mhm.
Kids are like, I made a great dinner, blah blah blah. Kids are up asleep or whatever it is. I pull out my cigar. I found a new one. It's a 2-hour smoke.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, it's a 2-hour smoke. Yeah, it's the Grana or La Grana, something like that.
wow.
And I sit over there and I'm in my backyard and I just like, there it is. Like the barbecue is dying down.
Mhm.
I'm probably still tasting some, some steak or chicken or
Right,
turkey
yeah.
between my teeth. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just sit back and I have a neighborhood fox that comes and he'll sit down there waiting for scraps. No, she sits like about maybe like 5 feet away from me. And I just sit back and just smoke. And then she just look like, yo, old man, you gonna feed me or not?
You're gonna give me
And I just, and the kids are breaking things in the house, killing each other, setting the house on fire. And I just, I don't even register it, And I just, a beautiful
You
thing.
don't have to deal with the
I
chaos.
just, it's not my problem right now. I've done my best. Look, I've gotten my children to 13 years old. That's success. It's on them. It's on you now. Yeah, it's like,
Indeed. Well, there is Mr. Maurice Williams who's out actually he's on YouTube, I guess. YouTube, Facebook. And what's the question, Josh?
The question is, what has been your biggest challenge in the industry to overcome to date?
distributors. So there's been a big upheaval in the alcohol industry, most of it having to do with distributors. So, I've been in Miami, like, for example, I'm available in Total Wine, but you can't find me on the shelves because this distributor got bought out by this distributor, they got bought out by this distributor, or this store only deals with this large distributor. And you can't get to the big distributors unless you're with a big store. How do you get in the store if you don't have a distributor?
Right.
Or it's like, you got to start, you got to prove yourself. But if you keep buying out the small distributors, I can't even work my way up to the large distributors.
Yes.
So that has been, to me, the biggest problem ever, just finding a distributor.
Sounds like we need to create.
Right.
Yeah, it's like,
it is one of those businesses that, this industry is in itself, right? What we call the 3-tier system.
yes, in this state. In this area.
In this area, sometimes that's replaced by, government controlled
Which is
stores,
4, yeah.
right? Absolutely. And DC is not a bad area to be. Some of our laws are a bit more lax or what have you. But whenever we're talking about alcoholic beverages, then you have to realize when someone goes and creates a brand,
Right.
it's not like the fashion industry. It's not like the even food industry. The laws and restrictions around the movement of alcohol from state to state makes it one of the most difficult endeavors.
It is. Because everybody has to get
On
theirs.
the planet.
Everyone has got it.
Here in the U.S., alcoholic beverage sales. And when you're talking about, when you mention distributors, you sign away your rights for that product to be distributed within a particular marketplace, state, or city by a company. And when they fold, it's a whole contract, contractual agreement that you have to navigate between companies. Well, if a distributor is purchased,
That's what I mean.
if a smaller distributor is purchased by a larger distributor, sure. But once you're with a larger distributor, they don't get your ethos. Then how much attention are they going to give you? And it's a totally different relationships between distributors with each account, whether it's a retailer or a restaurant, bar, what have you. So those relationships are different. You may have a great relationship with your distributor. That distributor takes you on a ride with. You land your product at an account at a bar. They're doing well with it. Well, that distributor gets purchased or something happens where you have to find someone else or it's folded into another larger portfolio. Well, they may not have the same relationship with that bar where you are moving product. You're building. And so then that new distributor was like, oh, well, you're just low on the totem pole because we haven't worked with you. You haven't made us any money yet. So we really don't know your story. And it's just a constant. Right.
And then every state's different, and every county
every
could be
state
different.
is different. And within the state, like Maryland, Montgomery County works on a totally different program than Prince George's County does. And they're in the same state, neighbors.
Yep.
But that's how it goes,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, and it's something. It's just confusing, as you know, because you're like, I'm not the expert in this. I'm learning more and more every day because of
Yeah.
my business partner. And then in some states, I could like if I go through a distributor, you can't. That's it. You're stuck with him for the attorney. He can sell the rights to distributor, but you can't. So that basically what that does, that prevents you from ever wanting to go with a small distributor. It completely pushes out the small distributor because you only want to work with the big guys.
Yeah.
Because they'll be around.
Workaround
They have
for that? Like, do you have to go through distribution, or can you do your own sort of? I don't know. I think like the way Master P started.
Not every state and territory allow for it. That's why DC is unique and it's fun because you don't have to have a distributor to be in the DC marketplace.
Wow.
As a producer or importer, you can actually sell direct. But what that does, that gives you
I gotta try it.
that forces you to make all those connections with each and every account, and then you have to pull paperwork, you have to deliver, you have to have everything set up right for that.
You could have the best juice out there and nobody knows.
Exactly.
That's
Is it
true.
easy-
And
is it
I
easier
will
for
say
local
it at
brands here
Chats,
than it is-
we
We
have
get
some of the best juice that you find out there,
Right.
but literally due to it being with smaller distributors, kind of more unknown, we find them, we push them. You have to come back to Chats to grab them, but it's just one of those things where I prefer supporting the smaller producer, the smaller distributor, because I'm a small retailer.
Right.
And while we've been around forever, what have you, competing with only the big brands, that's with direct competition with the Total Wines, a Costco here in the city, or whatever big retailers,
California,
are here. We don't get the face-to-face. I will build a brand to sometimes a point where they end up being big business, and sometimes I have to let them go because they don't necessarily serve me anymore, and I don't really serve them anymore, right? I did my job with them, and it's like, okay, they graduated.
Somebody coming behind them.
Always something else,
You need to
right?
keep that
And you
flow.
guys have a niche
Indeed.
because people
Indeed.
can find new things.
Yeah, you
And one of the things that we also
somewhere else.
promote are small production, minority owned, Black owned. This weekend is Bose Fest.
and I will be there.
Absolutely. The Black small owners and operators of brands in the wine and spirits industry. Bose Fest is happening right here in DC, folks. If you didn't
How do you
know,
spell that, Bose?
just
Black-owned wines and spirits. BOWS.
Yep. And that's this weekend on Saturday.
Saturday, I think it's from 2 to.
Shout out to Chanel and everybody.
Yep.
For Bose
I believe
Fest,
it's from 2 to 6.
Where is it?
Is it back at
Skylar Room? What's the hotel? It's
I
have it right here. It's at Hamilton Hotel, the Skylar.
Okay.
1001 14th Street.
14th.
Yeah. And it's about, I think, $100 to get a ticket to get inside. It's completely worth it. I was there last year. You'll have wine and rum and everything Black-owned spirits in general. And it was like the last place. It was. It is from. I think it's. Let me see. Bose is from.
2 to 7 or so.
Yeah, something. I think it's like. I believe it's 2 o'clock. I don't have the time on this.
I gotta think. My wife.
Absolutely.
That
So,
is.
buy your tickets, folks. Go support. A lot of brands that we carry will be there. Eric with Fior Blended Scotch Whisky will be there. I'm sure Abasola will be there. Dante and Will of Los Hermanos will be there. Tequila, I'm speaking of. Tiffany Hainsworth Capri of Tea Capri should be there. Everybody, well, I don't know if Sangar and Rum will be there or not, but 10 to 1. The list goes on and on. A lot of these brands that we support, and I'm just speaking about the spirits right now. The wine side will be represented there. Go support. So many producers have gotten their start here. We still carry a lot of Black-owned products here, so we want to continue to champion them. Heathen State will probably be there with the Silky Smooth and their other labels. That's a fun local production with Virginian sourced wines. Amazing stuff. So check them out. Check them out. Absolutely.
You know, there was another thing.
Yes.
You pointed out earlier. You asked, like, what's another problem? Like, what are the problems I've had with this? And this is like a completely different one. It was the pointing out that it's like, why do you have to say it's black on Scotch? Why can't you just say it's Scotch?
Right.
And I'm like, well, you have to realize I'm the only guy in the market. This is the only black on Scotch in the market. I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. You're proud of having Irish whiskey or American whiskey or Tennessee whiskey. You're proud that it's from Tennessee. You're proud that it's from here. What difference does it make that I say that mine is black owned? Like, you even have it. Well, that's different because, okay, what about Japanese whiskey? They're proud that it's Japanese. So why can't I be proud that mine is? And listen, I have no problem. It's like, well, if I said that it was, white owned or something like that, people would say this, that, and like, well, I understand that. And I feel that it's bad that way. I feel for you. Because if you're proud of your, mixed Irish, German, Scottish roots, you know what I mean? I think it's unfair to you. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Because this is a foreign drink, right? It's a Scotch or it's a whiskey. We didn't make it. We made bourbons, but whiskey does come from another country. I feel for you, brother. Absolutely.
Okay.
But if you want to put down that it's a Louisiana whiskey and you're French and you're white, French and Native American, absolutely you should be proud of that. Just like I'm proud that mine is a black owned whiskey, black owned Scotch.
Well, I think it creates an opportunity for everyone to be included in speaking about potentially being included in speaking about a particular product. Of course, it is a Scotch whiskey. It's from Scotland, absolutely. But what you bring, Eric, is your perspective within the wine and spirits world, and have created something that appeals to you that may just be a variant on what has already been done. Right? And so just with that, you're bringing it here to the U.S. and you're championing it, and part of your perspective is your background of being black and Italian and a veteran.
I have 9 nationalities.
And from Brooklyn and so forth. And that's a perspective that we should be able to share.
Man, this is the first and only veteran-owned Scotch, first and only black-owned Scotch. It's a Highland Speyside blend, 43%, 86 proof. Here we go. Let me know what you think.
All right, thank you very much.
It'll be slightly smoky, slightly sweet.
Welcome.
Nothing too overpowering. It's not going to be anything.
Cheers to you. May you get what you deserve.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, I know the camera go, but I got to get a hug here. I haven't seen it.
Right.
Okay. All right. Good to see you. First of all.
Yeah. He's been busy and not hanging out there.
Hey, you as well. Your name? Stephanie. Eric. Carly. Eric.
Hey,
Salute.
very nice to meet you.
Of course it is. I'm amazing. You didn't get the memo?
My brother was in the Marine Corps.
I'm so sorry for you.
He got out.
Okay.
Yeah. He just
Well, we all eventually get out one way or the other.
Right. For 7 years.
What was his last name?
Spring.
What did he do for a living? He was a Marine. You don't know yet.
Amphibious something.
Oh my God, he was an Amtracker.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I am.
No.
Yeah, that's a very small field.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, or he may know me.
Kevin
And
Spring.
Kevin Spring, amphibious attack vehicle.
Assault.
Assault.
Yes. Well, tell me, you just met Major Dominijanni. There we go.
Okay.
Well, we
Major
got your
Dominijanni.
email, so we'll just
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an Amtracker. We're Amtrackers. So,
Yeah.
no, you see, that's small world. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
What year did he get out?
Oh gosh, a while ago.
I retired in 17. So,
Oh no.
before 2010. I'm sorry,
2012 around there.
Before we started.
okay. So I had just left the community. No, I left the community in 09.
Yeah.
And I moved on to working in the Caribbean, man. I worked all throughout the Islands.
And he was a big drinker, so.
Oh, there we go. You see, there you are. That's perfect, you
I'll
know.
show a picture.
Mhm.
So,
You don't know what companies he was with. Text him right now. Ask him what companies.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to answer? There we go.
Ask you, right, girl? Who needs to know that?
well, he met a woman
Oh, from North Carolina, probably, right?
from
No, she's
South
from
Carolina.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit better. That's a little better. Yeah.
Right.
Well, just to let you know, you can
Down
let
at
him know.
Lejeune? What's down in South
Yeah,
Carolina?
Lejeune. No, North Carolina is Lejeune.
North Carolina is Lejeune.
Yeah, they
Oh,
met
okay.
here.
Well, I actually
He was
donate to Operation Gratitude. You Remember, if you ever seen, we get those little white boxes when we were in Iraqistan. We like to call it Iraqistan. We just put it all together.
And he
So-
went there.
Yeah, several times. Yeah, so we had those bottles, and it's a woman named Carolyn Blashek. She took care of us on basically all my deployments. No, unfortunately, the face doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, he was
mean-
an officer.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, okay.
So then I would probably definitely know him.
Yeah, I bet you guys.
Yeah, he would probably the Marine Corps. My community is so small, but they keep us separated, like East Coast, West Coast, like Mason-Dixon line, like the sweet tea line, like or the what's the other one?
Right.
The cornbread line, because there's sweet cornbread here, and you know, and cakey. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so they keep us separated. If you're East Coast, you stay East Coast, you stay West Coast. So Spring, the name is not familiar. He might know me because just I was a little bit more senior.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's good. And
It's delicious.
why? Thank you
Well,
very
as
much.
you all say, hoorah. Yeah.
Hoorah. Or yeah, or in our case, to Spring, yes, you ain't Trex, you ain't
Yeah.
skata in Greek.
Oh, yeah.
In Greek. Or if you remember the jerk,
Okay.
canola.
Okay.
It's a little different.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, actually, this is actually very,
Very good.
I was like,
I gotta get it out
Connor,
of here.
we're going
It was great to meet you, brother.
different Scotch,
Alright.
but no, but this is
He's the
very
second
good.
Eric.
Oh, okay.
He's not as good as me. You know, almost. Hell Shadow. You're younger than me too. Child. Well, then no. I actually, believe it or not, I never thought I'd be here. I had no clue. Like I was saying, like earlier, we were talking about like, I started like with every Scotch. I was doing like I can't even pronounce half the stuff. I like to say the frog. Punishan, Aberfeldy. My favorite. Talisker, actually. Talisker was actually one of my very, very first spray. Yeah. Both of the Taliskers. I like it. It's really smoky.
I love Sky.
Say again? Sky? Yeah, SKYE. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I started with some of the more intense flavors. And then as I kind of went through that, I started going more for, the space side. Because I didn't want to go, that's the popular stuff. I don't want to. And then actually did start getting into like more of those. Oh, okay. And then I got into lowlands, which are like impossible to find. And then I was like, wow, then you really learn to appreciate. It's kind of like the reverse of smoking cigars. You start off with, what's the cigars that everyone smokes? They're sweet.
Macanudo
The really sweet ones.
the
Acid.
acid.
Or if you're into wine.
Yeah.
Or if you're into wine, everyone starts
White
with a red Zinfandel. A white Zinfandel. Sorry, white Zinfandel.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's kind of like that gateway.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for me, I did this. I didn't want to do it now. I'm going to go for
We
intense.
start off
Yeah.
with the
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So bring on the Sauvignon
I just
Blanc,
grew up with whatever's in my dad's glass.
Fernet. Yeah.
I love
Syrah,
Zinfandel. My favorite, Zinfandels. I absolutely love.
red Zinfandel.
No, yeah. To me, there's no red.
Red.
It's Zinfandel. Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
just have to specify.
Yeah, you're right.
Because when you say
what
Zinfandel,
I used to
everyone-
say. And they bring over white Zinfandel. Like,
Right.
Zinfandel.
If I have it in front of me, this is Zinfandel.
Yes.
You can tell it's red.
My favorite
But,
wine,
otherwise,
that, and I love Southern Italian wines, which is the one, oh my God.
Primitivo.
Yeah, but what's the,
Luciano?
no, I'll tell you, see, again, I haven't slept in a day. It's not the alcohol, actually, I haven't had much. Oh my God.
Negro Amaro.
Piedro is one of the ones.
Oh,
Piedro is, means the stone. It's always salty.
Yeah.
They're from Southern Italy. They're not Tuscans. Oh, anyway, it'll hit me later on. Like I can't remember my scotches. I can't remember my wines right now. I had too much caffeine yesterday, so I can't sleep. Stepping up.
Pietro.
We are headquartered out of South Carolina,
Okay.
but I'm from New York, Charleston.
Oh, okay.
But I'm from New York City originally. The city's so nice and not once, but twice. New York. The land of great pizza, great hot dogs, everything but Mexican food. New York has everything but great Mexican food.
I'm from San Diego, so.
Yeah, that's what I say. Hey, I still love. I remember the first time I was in San Diego, and we were there with Mexican food. You can even find a Taco Bell in my neighborhood growing up. And I get to California, it's like, oh, they have this Mexican. I'm just tired of it. I'm like, yeah. And then I had my first burrito in Oceanside at Colima's.
Were you Camp Hilden?
Yes.
Yes.
And I took a bite, and it was like that episode,
Yeah.
like that scene in what's Ratatouille, when like the whole world, like, everything. And I was just sitting there like I had a different burrito every day. There's 30 burritos in that menu. I had a different burrito every day.
Wow.
And I go there, and I go to Santana's, which is now Castaneda's. That's
Where is that?
That's on the I-10, everywhere from Azusa, all the way to 29 Palms. There's one in Yucca Valley, one in 29 Palms,
Okay.
and they're also down in Palm Springs. I think there's two down in Palm Springs. They'll have like the name of one on the outside, the name of one on the inside. Amazing burritos. I can't eat Mexican
It's
food
fun.
outside of
The
that.
man has
Yeah,
such
it's-
vast knowledge.
Oh, the chef.
Travel. He's a chef.
Yeah.
He also makes whiskey, folks.
Yep.
A veteran. Shout out to the Marines, the
Amphibious assault vehicles.
Assault
Or
vehicles.
amphibious assault community. Hopefully, because for those of you who don't know, we've switched up to new vehicles. And it was like the assault amphibian vehicle, but the amphibious assault battalion. And I was assault amphibian officer. Can you please just put them in the same
Yeah,
order?
right.
Either make it the assault amphibian community or the amphibious assault community, and same thing with the vehicle. Pretty please, with sugar on top. There's no reason to make life difficult for us.
There you go. Well, we're right here, not even a block away from the U.S. Marines Commandant's home. So, hey, Commandant.
He was
you
a
heard
real
it
boss.
first.
He was a real boss.
All right.
Yeah, I worked for him.
Well, come on down.
I worked for
Come
like
on over.
3.
Come on over,
Commandants.
General. Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, if you're looking at picking up a bottle, they go
Well,
for
we're gonna-
$40. Today, there's 2 for $3. You buy 2, you get 3.
Indeed. Hey, and we're going to sign off, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Come on over to the chat. So you'll see Fior right here in the shop. Signing off, folks. Come on down for tasting Friday tomorrow and wine tasting Saturday. Of course, tomorrow 5 to 8, Saturday 3 to 6. Cheers.
Merry Christmas. Muchos tacos. 5 burritos.